It was a very chalky first round of the Summer 18 Connecticut playoffs. One upset, if you consider it an upset, the 9 over the 8. We're going to break that down and all the first round matchups, and then we'll get to those quarterfinal matchups. We are down to 8 teams in the Summer 18 season here in Connecticut. This is the first round post-game show, the first one of the playoffs. We're missing some of our analysts for various reasons, but we are joined by Sean, Justin, and Brendan. I'm Joey. Let's shout out Tyler Feldman with his lovely hairdo behind the camera, Connor Sauer and Greg Horn, and Will Hudson is hanging out late night, giving a wave to the crew. So let's start with that 8-9 game. I wouldn't consider it an upset. The two teams had the same record entering the playoffs, but Dinner Serve does hold on. A crazy last possession over Sportslook by 2 points. Dinner Serve had the ball, Sportslook had the ball for the last 25 seconds of the game. I think had 2 or 3 chances to tie the game, and then the last pass just goes awry and time expires, and Dinner Serve holds on. From that game, the closest game of the night, what'd you guys see from Dinner Serve as they now get ready to take on Shocker City, who had a bye?
We've seen what we've seen all season from Dinner Serve. Their two main guys, Kyle Connecticut had 32 points, Patrick Ross had 18. They've led the way basically the entire season. And I thought sports looked a little too stagnant offensively, too reliant on Tyrell Holmes. Despite 29 points and 10 boards. Overall, good win by Dinner Serve, though.
Yeah, that was just a tough last possession for Sportslook there. Tyrell Holmes had the ball for a while, never actually got a shot off, even though they had the ball for 25 seconds. So heartbreaking loss, but Dinner Serve moves on.
Did they have a timeout? I feel like I don't think they took 2 timeouts. They were out.
They did, yeah.
So like usually in that situation, obviously it's easy to second guess now, right?
Yeah.
Monday morning quarterback style, but that's when you need a timeout, get organized, and it's so easy to try to go on the fly. Maybe if they didn't have a timeout, of course not, then that answers that question. But that's when you need to get organized, and now Sportslook bounced in the first round. Dinner Serve advances on, like I mentioned. Let's get to the 7-10 matchup. Nothing easy and Jays, trays, and fadeaways. Nothing easy does win by 9. No Mike Slattery and no Mikey Zazuri, who was here in street clothes. He said he hurt his shoulder. And they still get the win, 60-51 over Jays, who was missing Eddie. And Joe Nemchek did his thing, but it wasn't enough. So they now advance to take on the second-seeded Rim Breakers, who had a bye. What'd you guys see from Nothing Easy without 2 of their better players?
Well, Nothing Easy was down pretty much the entire game. Jays, trays had their way, but Joe Cap in the second half really had his way. He had 18 points and 12 rebounds, and they just completely dominated the glass in the second half, which led them winning, getting a lot of offensive boards, and couldn't get stopped in the second half.
Good talk.
I did not watch
Awesome.
the game.
So, Nothing Easy advances on. We'll just stay on that side of the bracket. So Rim Breakers Nothing Easy is on, we'll say, the bottom. They will play, whoever wins, will play the winner of TMC and the Throne, 2 teams who won today. Let's start with the Throne. They took down the Blue Devils in that 6-11 matchup, 74-59. Even Tyler was saying after the game it was close throughout the third quarter, kind of back and forth, and the Throne put them away in the fourth. Thought a good fight by the Blue Devils. What'd you see from the Throne as they get ready for TMC, as I mentioned?
Yeah, I mean, just quickly, just credit to the Blue Devils. They really do play up to their competitors' level. They obviously weren't able to beat the Throne, but Steve Eccles, 16 points. Chappelle Shawn came up big, maybe bigger than he ever has this season. He had 15 points, but it wasn't enough to beat the Throne. The 2 Langstons are so dominant, Dominique and Eric. And then while Russ Payton's injured, while I find his name here before I mess it up, Akel Gordon, he played great. He had a double-double, 12 points, 14 rebounds. Kind of came out of nowhere, but been playing really well for the Throne.
Yeah, the Throne, they got off to a sluggish start. I was talking to Lee after the game. He said the defense really picked up. You could see the Blue Devils starting to argue, turn the ball over, and it really helped the Throne get the victory. And they have a very important matchup with you guys next week.
We'll get to that. Good transition you tried. It's a little lob there. Typical for the Blue Devils, kind of the turnovers. Some of the things we've seen from them all season resurfaced in that fourth quarter, and that's kind of the story, right? That's how they go out, is how they've been playing all season. You mentioned TMC. They took down the 14-seeded above the rim, 91-47. Kind of lopsided, as probably many people expected coming in. So now let's touch on what TMC did well today. No K1 Bynum. Everybody else was here. He'll be here next week. We know that for a fact. He is very ready for a rematch against the one team that beat Run TMC in the regular season, the Throne. What'd you see today from TMC before we preview the stuff? Let's stick to today. What'd you see from him?
It's kind of what we expected, above the rim struggle all the year. Reggie Stewart went off for 30 points. I mean, they kind of pissed him off there a little bit, and he just went on a tear. And you guys had 5 players in double figures, so you got a lot of contributions tonight.
and I was not one of them. Shocker.
Struggle.
So, you mentioned the bottom half of the bracket, the 3-6 matchup and the 2-7 matchup, that is who advanced. Let's get to that top half. So we have Shocker and Dinner Serve. We talked about them. The other one in the top is Team Moose, and it will be Nick Strong. So let's explain how we got there. Team Moose took down the Young Kings with 4 players. So we say sports, like always, doesn't have enough guys sometimes to get the win. Team Moose did it with 4 guys. They took down the Young Kings 92-53, again, by 40 points with 4 guys. What impressed you today from them?
Melquan Horton was just on an absolute mission. He's very into the game, talking all the time. 41 points, 16 rebounds, just a great display when they didn't have guys like Brad Seaman, Connor Daly, so the Moose moves on.
Yeah, just a testament to their depth. As you said, Horton went off. And other contributors, Josh Balabuk, hopefully I'm not butchering your name, he played great, 24 points, a lot of dimes. Those are just the kind of guys that can come up when players are missing and help Team Moose win.
And so Connor Daly is out for the season, so that would be nice to have against a bigger Nick Strong team. Nick Strong took down the head honchos today, 75-53 in that 5-12 matchup. So Nick Strong advances on. I didn't see too much of it. I know you guys were over there. No Brett Cody, though.
Yeah.
And so that kind of limits the upset possibilities for a head honchos team. But what did Nick Strong do today to advance? That's the whole key, right? Survive and advance.
Yeah, Nick Strong, well, obviously without Brett Cody, it was a little bit easier, but also credit to the head honchos. It was pretty much neck and neck up until the half. They kind of exploded in the second half. They had a press going, a half-court press, and it just kind of freaked out, I'm sure, the likes of Daniel Bartoli. That he played great in the first half, but there's so much you can do against a stacked team like Nick Strong, the Visicchio brothers. I'm sure, Sean, you'd like to add?
Yeah, we were thinking head honcho is a potential upset, but it definitely wasn't the case. Nick Strong played very well. Frank Morale had one of his better games this season, and they have a very interesting matchup next week.
Very, very true. So let's get to each of these 4 matchups quickly. We'll start down there. You get to pick one. I'll take the last one, so leave me with a good one, all right? We have Shocker Dinner Serve, the 1-9. Rim Breakers Nothing Easy, the 2-7. TMC Throne, the 3-6. And Moose Nick Strong, the 4-5. So give me some keys to the game, what you're looking for, and kind of preview one of those matchups for me.
I'm going to go Team Moose Nick Strong. Just talking about Nick Strong, they played very well. If they could bring that type of intensity and effort against a team like Team Moose, they might be able to give them a scare. And it also depends who Team Moose has.
They're expecting to have most of their team back.
So that makes it a lot more difficult for Nick Strong. But who knows? We'll see what happens.
And so, one more note. I know Nick Strong played Moose in the regular season. Moose, I believe, clobbered them in week 3 when Nick Strong was undefeated in that game of the week. And so this will be, I'm sure Nick Strong will want to get the win. Obviously, both teams want to win, but it'll be a rematch of sorts from that game 3 matchup.
Could you remind me some of these matchups?
Yeah,
here,
TMC Throne, Rim Nothing Easy, Shocker Dinner Served.
Okay, all right. So I think Rim Nothing Easy is going to be a good one. Rim, obviously, they're high-flying, intense team. Nothing Easy, just the same. They both have really deep lineups. Should be interesting to see Joe Cap going against some guys like Chris Leak or Gerald McLeese, big guys that can really play pretty well. So
that is the battle of the bigger lineups, bigger teams, as that's like Rim's go-to down the stretches. 3 or 4 bigs at times.
I'm going to go with you guys. Run TMC in the Throne. You guys lost them earlier this season. I think their size was a little overwhelming, but you did not have Reggie, so I think with him, for the first quarter, but that's when you guys got dominated. But let's see how you guys bounce back, can hit your shots, and I think you guys should win.
Reggie's being hand-delivered by another teammate, so he will be here on time. And K1 will be here. And so I will be here, and I'm just going to keep the bench warm over there. And we're going to see what happens. Me and Feldman just rocking left bench or right bench, Ty? We're next week.
I'll take the right.
You want us? Oh, sure. We can switch at halftime. Love it. And so that means I'm left with Shocker and Dinner Served. Dinner Served today, Matt Tarazzi and Kyle Coniglio. Did I say it right? Obviously, there are 2 standout players. We mentioned them. Shocker City has a couple standout players that you guys have seen this season. We were talking about it on the way over here, I think, with Will. It's like Terrell Vargas, Mike Davis, Carmine Santarelli. Oh, Nick Santarelli. You know, we can list their entire team. Devon Pratt. And so, what are you saying?
Corey.
I know, and Corey Jacobs is a champion. And Destin, who hasn't been here, I don't know if Destin, hopefully he's a shooter. Hopefully he'll be here. And so, right, we just named their entire team, not to mention Troy Brunson. Might as well finish off the bunch at that point. So we'll see how Dinner Serve can combat them. I don't know if they played in the season, did they? I don't know.
So.
They were saying they're excited for him. I know that. I caught some of their chatter like, oh, yeah, Shocker City. So I know Shocker will be ready. off the bye. I know Dinner Served is excited to get to it. Any last thoughts about the quarterfinals, the round of 8? Yeah, you guys covered it all.
Yeah.
So, top plays. We're going to preview all 4 quarterfinals, and the weekly rebound is back. Guys, do we have Slattery this week? Do we know? Slattery's back. We got a thumbs up from Connor Sauer, the host of the weekly rebound, and Gregory. 2 thumbs up from Greg Horn. What's better than that? Slattery will be back to break down the quarterfinals on the pod. Whole bunch of stuff on the site. Stay tuned for that. We do have games Monday, the quarterfinals. Next Thursday is the semifinals, so we will have 2 games next week to kind of start to wrap up the summer 18 season. For the guys, I'm Joey. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the quarterfinals on Monday.